Good morning, Sheila. How are you doing?
Good morning, Wayne. I'm super. How about yourself today?
I'm I am doing great, thanks. And welcome
Good.
everyone to 27 Minutes with Sheila and Wayne, where we explore the fascinating world of verbs and their impact on our daily lives. Hey, join us each week as we delve into the different ways verbs shape our language and influence our activities, as we attempt to make a positive difference in our world, one verb at a time. And Sheila, what might our verb be today?
Wayne, our verb today is to seek. And
Ah,
before I go into definitions, though, I understand you have a trivia question.
I do have a trivia question, and it was when was hide and seek first mentioned in the world?
Okay.
And we'll
Whoa.
we'll hear the answer at the end of the show.
Can't
So when
wait.
was hide and seek first heard? All
Super.
right. And Sheila, this is episode number 132,
132.
and we have now been listened to, according to the analytics, 30. We have been listened to in 32 different countries now,
32. That's
and
exciting.
it is, and the latest being Norwegian or Norway. So,
Norway.
so thank you, Norway,
Thank
and
you.
and welcome to the group. All right, Sheila, how can our listeners find you?
Oh, thanks for asking, Wayne. My email address is zekeandsheila@yahoo.com. Zeke, of course, is my golden retriever.
And my email address is wayne@mindsyncing.com. That's MINDSYNCING.com. So if you want to give us any verbs or
Yes,
comments
please.
or things, please email us. And I understand that Schultz gave us this word too.
He has been such a treasure trove of recommending verbs. Thank you, Schultz.
Thank you, Schultz. And what kind of definitions did you come up with seek?
The first two, I only have two. I know you have many more.
Ooh,
To try to find or get something is the first, and the second is to ask for advice, help, approval, etc. Oh,
okay.
permission, etc.
Aha. And I do have a couple more. And one is to try and find or get something, especially something that is not a physical object. And I thought, huh, okay, that's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
To try or attempt, to resort to go in search of or look, to ask for, to try to acquire or gain, aim at, and the
Hmm.
last one, to be sought. Now, what did you think about seek when you knew we were going to do it today?
The verb I thought would be fun, and at first it wasn't, but then it was. But my very first thought actually was my dog's nose seeks out trash and water bottles like nobody's business.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Zeke,
go
the seeker.
go Zeke the seeker.
Zeker, the seeker. Right. Right.
Excellent.
So,
And
how about you?
my first thought was, hey, what a fun verb. And
Okay.
I as I hit the internet and as I hit other books to look at, obviously the synonym came up search. I'm thinking,
Mhm.
it's and I said, but there's a difference. And I'm really not sure what that is. So all you English majors out there, please let me know what the difference is. But here's what I kind of thought, because we have all made reference to this verb as a young
Mhm.
child to
Mhm. Right.
through to a mature adults. Because as a kid, I played hide and seek.
Yeah. Same
Ergo,
here. Same here.
ergo, my trivia question. And then I have often heard the phrase "seek and you shall find."
Hmm.
Many of us have set out to seek knowledge,
Hmm.
while others were seeking employment, and still
Yep.
others were seeking retirement.
Right.
And then I thought of something because I kept coming across these pages. We seek medical advice.
True.
I
From
don't know that
from
we
Dr.
search.
Google often.
Yeah. I hope not.
Always double check your sources.
Exactly right. Okay. And then I turned to spread more, I guess, thought processes on seek. I searched the internet to seek what I was looking for.
And did you find what you sought?
I did. I did, as a matter of fact.
Okay. All right.
I, I ran across a few articles. However, I only honed in on one because all of the articles that I did look at had some of the same kinds of questions because I was looking at, all right, let's see, if we have all used this to seek knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
I asked myself a question. If we're all seeking knowledge, why is knowledge important? And
Oh, good.
lo and behold, I found an article that's titled "Why Knowledge is Important,"
Okay. Let's hear
and
it.
why we seek it. So
Right.
I have 23 reasons.
Wow.
Yes. So
Okay.
so I'll do these in small sound bites. All right.
Okay.
The first reason was uh, knowledge empowers you to make better decisions.
I would agree with that.
I liked that a lot. The second one was knowledge boosts your problem solving skills.
Mm-hmm.
I agreed with that one as well. There's one that I like here. It says knowledge enhances your creativity.
Mm.
And I thought, wow, that's kind of cool too, because I considered myself at one time an illustrator,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a couple of art classes and mixing oils or mixing acrylics or doing things with just a paintbrush and
Mm-hmm.
not follow, not paint the numbers.
Right, right, right.
Just doing it freehand here. I found as I learned about certain textures, about certain medias, about certain things, oh, if I molded and blended these, then hey, I could be much more creative. And so when I read that, when knowledge enhances your creativity, I thought about my art class and how knowledge of different kinds of things
Mm-hmm.
brought together gives you a different product. And I thought, oh, I like that
I like that
muchly.
too.
So before I go down the rest of this list, because I have a lot of them, where would you like
Okay.
to go?
Well, I start coming up with where I use seek or where I hear seek in my everyday language, and I was reading headlines about seeking asylum, seeking an agreement,
Oh, yes.
seeking approval,
Uh-huh.
job seeking. And I can touch on that later if we have time. But the one I liked the most was seeking meaning or purpose.
Oh.
One of my favorite authors that I was introduced to decades ago is Dr. Viktor Frankl, who I want to skip forward into what I was saying here. His personal story was that he found meaning around the horrors of life in a concentration camp during World War II.
Mm.
And his premise is you have the ultimate freedom to choose your attitude. You don't just have to be a prisoner to your thoughts, which I loved.
Oh, I
And
like that.
so this individual did a summary. Two different people did a summary. Both of these were articles in Psychology Today. But the first one I want to mention was Elaine Denden, who wrote her own book called Prisoner of Our Thoughts. And both of these different authors say that meaning is an essential core competency in the 21st century. And that so much of life, especially after COVID or during COVID, was unpredictable. And we can't control those changes. So there's a need for all of us to seek meaning in our lives and at home and at work to be more centered and understanding of ourselves and others. And this little summary she gave of what's in Viktor Frankl's writing was so true to me. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. In
Hmm.
that space lies our freedom and our power to choose our response. In our response lives our growth and our own happiness.
Hmm.
So, are we responding or reacting? And so, the point on how to do this is to slow down our response in order to manage the display of our inner emotions. And so, a lot of people at anger management programs teach this. A lot of addiction programs and anonymous programs
Yes, yes.
address this. This woman in particular came up with a new term, and we love our new terms,
Yes, we do.
meaningology, which is the exploration of meaning. And she started or helped found the Meaning Movement and the Global Meaning Institute. So, anyway, I thought that was a lovely concept to ponder, which was one of the verbs we used in the last many weeks, which I also loved. And I believe that also was a Schultz recommendation.
Yes, it
So,
was. And,
so
and
I'm
so
going to,
was and so was
yes,
meander.
another really great verb.
Yes. And listening to what you were talking about just
Yeah,
now, you said slow
yeah,
down.
yes,
What was that between what? The space between
yeah.
synapse and
The space between stimulus and
sti
response.
stimulus and response.
Yes,
And you
yes,
said we slow, all right, if we slow down, and remember we talked, what was the verb? The verb was it ponder? I think
maybe.
it was ponder because
Okay.
as I was talking about thinking or ponder, it says if you write your thoughts down, you
Yes,
slow down and
yes.
you can. And so here we go again. Speed is not our friend when we're
Not always, no.
not always right when we're thinking, when we're pondering, or when we're seeking. So we want to slow down. I like that.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool how those verbs kind of intertwined with each other.
right.
Very nice. Yes.
Okay.
And I like, and you know that meaningology is going to go on my
I know
list.
we have a list of
The
words we
expert.
like to ponder. All
So,
right,
all right. So going back to Leah
please.
Bayubi,
Mhm.
she says that when we seek knowledge, it improves your ability to communicate. And I thought, oh, heck yes, because learning another language, right?
Right.
And I remember, and I don't remember the guy's name, but there was a, I think he was a physicist or I don't remember. Don't quote me on this, but he was an engineer. He was an engineer,
Okay.
and he learned German to read the German book on the steam engine so that he could understand the nuances, the ins and outs of the steam engine, as he was trying to develop or enhance the steam engine. But he learned the German language so that he could read the um, the study that was made in German so that he could understand better his product. And I thought,
Okay.
how cool is that? I mean, that's very dedicated, though.
That is very dedicated.
Absolutely. So we seek knowledge to improve our ability to communicate. We seek knowledge to build confidence. And I'm thinking,
Mm.
okay, huh? How many times have you done that? How many times have you sought knowledge to build confidence in yourself? I know I have.
I have. I love learning new things.
And I learned, as I told you, I learned how to fly helicopters a few years ago, several
I
years ago.
love that.
And it built my confidence in, wow, okay, I can do something different that I have no idea that I could do. And I did that because a lot of the people that I talk to with leadership development, I tell them to get out of their comfort zone and seek other things
Hmm.
to to let them know that they are not perfect, that they don't know it all, and that they can be taught by anyone. So I sought helicopter lessons, and it was so fun. Gosh,
Great.
another one, seeking knowledge facilitates personal growth. I think that's kind of obvious.
Okay.
Seeking knowledge strengthens your position in society. And I thought, huh, all right. So I think that kind of ties in more to the communicative part of that because you can
Hmm.
speak on many subjects now, many more subjects than just a narrowly focused, let's just talk about one thing. Now you can
Hmm.
talk about many things, which goes back to what you always bring up that I have suggested reading a book on poetry, reading a book,
Right.
just a bestseller, and reading a bestseller in your field. I wanted people to read the next bestseller that's out there, just so they can go to a work event or just an event in general and talk about many things. Hey, what was the last book you wrote about? What was the last book you talked about?
Hmm.
And it just opens it up where your conversation is not boring and it's not just job related or it's not just event related. You can speak on different kinds of things and touch more people. So I thought I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I Yes, one more and then I'll turn to you, okay?
Hey.
Seeking knowledge encourages a lifetime of learning. I like that.
Mm.
I certainly like that.
I do
Ben
too.
And to use your playbook, I have a quote from Benjamin Franklin. He says, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest."
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, because the dividends just, go on and on and on. As you continue to learn, you pick up more return on your investment.
I like that too.
Where'd you go next?
Well, back to meaning. This one, I mentioned two Psychology Today articles. This is the second, Alex Patakos, PhD, in the meaningful life. Excuse me, the meaningful life. He said that in addition to what Elaine Dendon said, he also believes that the primary intrinsic motivation of human beings is the search for meaning. And he
Hmm.
said we don't really create meaning, we find it. And we can't find it if we don't look for it. So the question is not what's the meaning of life, it's the search in my life for the things that count. So there's no right or wrong answer, just the right answer for each of us. And that's not relativity, but the questions we should be asking are what are we doing and why are we doing it? And what do our
Hmm.
lives mean to us? Now, that doesn't mean we sit around and gaze at our navel all day. In everything that happens to us, there's a little seed of what counts in our life, what matters. And we're looking at for a feeling that life matters to us and maybe even extending beyond ourselves to be serving something bigger than ourselves. And so here's just a little trivia fact, not a trivia question to answer at the end. But I was saying, well, okay, is there a time in life where you are more likely to have resolved this finding meaning thing? Because I can't help thinking the older you get, the easier it is to recognize what's meaningful in your life.
Hmm.
So science has actually determined that there is a peak age for finding meaning in life. And that age is, they studied, first of all, ages 21 to 100 years old. The age is around 60. But the catch is that then you start all over again. So you around 60, you say, oh yeah, meaning of life. And then, retirement and other things happen, losses and bereavement, and you start it all over again.
Is that a Benjamin Button kind of a thing?
I think it might be. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay, start. Well, I can't wait till I get there so I can start all over.
I am starting all over. Similar answers, though. So,
Okay. Leah also says that seeking knowledge supports sustainable development. And I thought, well, yeah, okay. Look at how the world has continued to evolve, and now we're looking at, or the world is talking about other things that are impacting on us, and we need to be able to sustain where we are so we can
right,
develop further. She
right.
says, knowledge fuels innovation. And I thought, okay, that's kind of going back to the creativity thing.
Hmm.
So I kind of quickly bypass that paragraph. Knowledge helps you understand the world around you.
Hmm.
And I thought how true that is. Being in the military, I was in the military for 20 some years
Hmm.
and going different places, um, being infused into a culture, if you will,
Hmm.
that you don't know the cuisine, you don't know the language, you don't know
Hmm.
all this kind of things, and you learn it, and you learn different nuances. It is so fun to be able to see things from a different perspective.
Hmm.
So as opposed to seeing the world how I see it, it's fun to see how the world saw me
Oh,
as I went to these different places, and I thought
oh,
that's kind of cool, kind of
yeah,
scary, but at the same time kind of
right,
cool. Yes.
right.
Okay. Um, Knowledge protects you from misinformation.
Yes, I agree.
Ah, boy, don't we need that today?
Yes, I agree.
Knowledge expands your perspective. And I
Mm-hmm.
liked that particularly because when I talk about vision, to the groups that I do talk to,
Mm-hmm.
I ask them to go through an exercise. And when they go through the exercise, the last comment I say is, now what do you see? And typically the answer is somewhere in, well, a lot more things that I didn't know were here.
Right. Good.
Yes, so that's cool. One last one, then we'll turn back to you. Knowledge enables you to teach others. Yes, it
Yep.
does. Yes, it
Yes.
does. I learned how to tie my shoe. Therefore, I could teach my son how to tie his shoe.
Yes. Are you
Yes,
both right-handed or both left-handed?
we are both right-handed, and let me tell you, I was worried about that.
Okay.
As he was growing up, as oh man, tying a tie left-handed. I don't know if I can do that. I hope he's gonna be right-handed.
The
Get
things you
those
the things you ponder when you have a new baby.
right. Get those scissors. Oh, right-handed, like, because I understand they make left-handed scissors now.
They do.
Is it
My sister uses them.
okay?
She says it's
Yes.
great. She really likes
Okay.
them.
Okay. And where did you go next?
I want to, both of us are talking about seeking knowledge, seeking meaning. They're both similar processes, but I just started stumbling along. What's the difference between to seek after and to seek for? And
Mm,
someone on Quora, an anonymous person, said, but I agreed. To seek after implies a pursuit or longing for an abstract or elusive thing like happiness, knowledge, or truth. Or I would interject meaning as well. But
okay.
to seek for is more concrete. I'm seeking for my lost car keys. I'm seeking for where I put down that cell phone, which always is in a different spot.
Mm, okay.
I thought that was just an interesting side effect. So
It
back to your
is.
list. Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Seeking knowledge increases your marketability. And I get that. A lot of people get their master's degree or graduate degree, and
Right.
now they can go from one level of position to another level
Hmm.
because they have now the credentials to back that up.
Hmm.
Seeking knowledge, and I'm looking at the clock. We are at 21:45, so lots of
Okay.
time. We're good.
Good.
Seeking knowledge helps you adapt to change. Now, I liked that one particularly well
Hmm.
because, as you know, and I know, a lot of people always say they don't like change. Well, you know what?
Yeah. Guess what?
Seeking knowledge helps you adapt to change. Here's an easy one. We went to Antarctica last December. We
I
went to
remember you and your wife talking about that. Excuse me.
yes, and we went to Antarctica. So I sought knowledge. I went to the website of Antarctica and I said, "What is your temperature?"
Yes.
And the average temperature, and I found the average temperature. So I packed clothes because there's going to be a change in the weather pattern from where I am to going there. And guess what? It served me well.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
So, and as I said, that's just one simplistic kind of a thing. But
Right,
you know
right,
what? We although we fear change, change sometimes is good, sometimes change is not. But
right,
um, change doesn't have to just be the new thing. Change could be again going from one culture to another, going from one
right,
environment to another, going from one
right,
place to another. Um, Trying a different cuisine is change. Um,
right.
so knowledge, reading, listening, talking to people about certain things, learning from them, since we seek knowledge to help us communicate and also to help us change our expand our perspectives.
Hmm.
Um, Change sits right in there. So I really enjoyed that. Here's my last two.
Okay.
Knowledge inspires positive change in society. And I thought, okay, so we talked about change on an individual basis. Now we're talking about change on a group basis. And have you ever, or do you have any examples of that? How we have maybe changed society through
Ooh.
knowledge?
Uh, I'm not good when
Yeah.
put on the spot.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
mean to
wait,
put you on the
wait,
spot.
wait.
Oh,
I
wait,
will
she's got one.
say,
She's got one.
we were leaning towards electric vehicles. And as we've learned more about them and some of the challenges of charging them now, we're leaning away. Oh, and the challenges of the battery disposal, we're leaning now away because we've learned more about it. We're leaning back to hybrid type vehicles.
There you go. See? How about that?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I won't put you on the
Gold
spot any
star.
more. My
No,
my
no, that's right.
bad.
No, no, it just took me a minute.
Okay, that's all right. And here's one of the last ones. It says, when we seeking knowledge lays the foundation for a better future.
Mm.
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
Yes, it does. It's just, I wouldn't I wouldn't touch that stove if I were you because it's hot.
There's a good example. Yeah.
And you know me, I okay, just because you told me I had to check it out. So I
Yeah.
touched
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I touched it. I won't touch it again.
Nope. Nope. That was enough.
No.
That was enough data.
Yeah, yes it was. Yes it was. Gosh. And so here's a frequently asked question
Oh,
that
good.
Leah suggests. She says, "Is informal education the only way to gain knowledge?" And
Oh, oh,
obviously,
oh, oh,
oh,
oh.
what,
I know
what,
the
what?
answer.
What's the
No.
answer?
No.
Oh, you're right.
Woo.
Yeah, no, because there's informal education, there's
Mhm,
self-study, mentorship, hands-on experience,
mhm,
travel, and all of that is equally valuable. So
mhm.
yeah, no, answer is absolutely not. Okay,
We're
I have
never
another
finished.
question,
All
and
right.
maybe you might know the answer to this one.
Okay.
If I don't want to put you on the spot,
No, nope,
but I'll.
nope.
Okay,
Okay.
can knowledge become outdated?
Yes.
Yes, it
Okay.
certainly can.
Phew,
And
phew. 100% so far.
and she gives the easiest examples. That is, she says yes, especially in rapidly evolving fields like
Yes.
technology, medicine, and
Yes.
science.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So again, goes back to ever learning, continue to learn
Yeah.
knowledge. Knowledge is to know that you need to continue to learn. And so I had fun with this. So thank you, Schultz. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
looking at the clock. I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend.
You know, my mother-in-law used to say if there were two doors, one says go to heaven and the other one says learn how to go to heaven, I would always choose the learn how door. I love learning. I love learning. I love the
Okay.
new term that you just said, which is ever learning, and I'm putting that on my list.
Oh, okay.
And I always learn new things when I do these podcasts with you, Wayne. So thank you for that.
And thank you, Sheila. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I do have a quote as we're getting towards the end here before
Uh-huh.
you answer your trivia question.
Okay.
This is everybody's in our country's favorite right now. Simone Biles
Uh-huh.
said, growing up, it was kind of a struggle being small since everybody would make fun of you, except for when it came to hide and seek. That's the only advantage I ever had.
Huh.
Because she was
Okay.
so tiny.
Very cool.
I think she has since then come up with more opportunities to benefit from being small.
I get it.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Okay, so the answer to the trivia question,
Yes,
when
please.
was it first mentioned? It was first mentioned in the second century,
Wow.
and it was called Apodidreskinder, and that was by
Nice.
a Greek writer called Julius Pollux. And with
Nice.
that, I will leave it to you, my friend.
Well, we thank everybody who's listened to us for 132 or even just one or two podcasts. We hope we
Yes.
have verbs that entice you to listen to more. We are excited about being heard in 32 different countries. Thank you for that. And we welcome your feedback. And Wayne, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheila. It's fun doing this with you. Thanks, everyone. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everyone. Bye bye.